Hello friends, today we will be analyzing Indo-French relationships in the context of Prime Minister Modi's recent visit to France. If you want to download this slide, the link will be available in the description. If you want to watch this video in Hindi or bilingual language, then you could go to our other channel, that is prepezee. The context is that Prime Minister Modi recently participated in the French Bastille Day parade which was held on 14 July. He was the chief guest. So in this, there are two major aspects. First is, what are the major areas of cooperation between the two countries and what happened during this recent visit. So first let us understand that what are the major areas of cooperation. The first major aspect between the two countries is defense relationship. See, India is dependent for its defense equipment majorly on Russia. However, during the Ukraine war and such other conflicts which had arisen in the history, we have realized that putting all our eggs in the same basket is not beneficial for our interests. Therefore, India has long realized that it needs to diversify its relationship as far as defense deals is concerned. In fact, we need to have defense equipment procurement from different countries, and in this context, we have increased our defense cooperation with France. In 1998, India signed strategic partnership agreement with France, and therefore we are having many military exercises together. The air forces of the two countries, they conduct two major exercises. The first one is Garud and the second one is Desert Night. Similarly, the navies of the two countries, they are conducting Varun exercise. The armies of the two countries, they are also having an exercise named as Shakti. Apart from that, there are other major aspects. For example, the first one is we are procuring submarines from France as well as aircrafts. The first submarine is Scorpene. The Scorpene class submarines, they are now being made in India in Mumbai in the Mazgaon docks. 6 submarines have already been made, and during the recent visit, Prime Minister Modi secured an agreement to make 3 more such submarines. It is important to remember the name of these submarines. These all are Kalvari class. This means that the first submarine which was made in this, it was called as Kalvari, and rest of the submarines are basically the copies of Kalvari, and therefore they are called as Kalvari class submarines. These are diesel submarines, and they can be used for attacks also. The 6 are Kalvari, then the second one was Khanderi, then Karanj was made, and then the 3 submarines which were later made were Vela, Wagir and Wagshir. Wagshir submarine has been launched for sea trials, but it has still not been commissioned in the Indian Navy, and it will be commissioned within an year or 2. Apart from that, we have also procured 36 Dassault Rafale aircrafts for Indian Air Force. In fact, in the recent visit, Prime Minister Modi has asked for 26 more Rafales, but then these will be used by the Navy, and they are the marine versions which will be used on the aircraft carrier. The second major aspect of the relationship between the two countries is the security interests in the Indian Ocean region. See, please understand that both India as well as France, they are concerned by the increasing footprint of China in the Indian Ocean region. This map depicts French overseas territories. See, this is the mainland France in Europe. In the Pacific Ocean, these islands belong to France. See, for example, Clipperton Island is there, French Polynesia is there, New Caledonia, Wallis and Futuna. Similarly, in this Indian Ocean region also, there are many islands like Mayotte, Reunion Island, Crozet, Kerguelen Islands, St. Paul and Amsterdam, and then there are many small scattered islands in the Indian Ocean region which belong to France. Now, if China is improving its presence and increasing its activity in this region, both India and France, they get concerned. Why? Because China is basically an expansionist power, and it has been repeatedly seen that it has tried to expand its territory at the expense of other countries. And therefore, when China is increasing its activities, both the countries are also trying to counter its activities through increasing their own presence. For example, France has bases in Reunion Island, Djibouti, as well as it is establishing one in Abu Dhabi. Similarly, India is also developing its presence in Oman and also in Seychelles, where it is developing the Assumption Island. And therefore, we see that now as we move forward, we expect to see more joint partnership and patrols by the two countries. Another major aspect between the two countries is the nuclear energy. See, France is one country which for India, which has been very reliable and very dependent. See, the point is that during the 1974 peaceful nuclear explosion which was carried out by India, Western countries like US, they withdrew the supply of enriched uranium, which was required as a fuel for our nuclear plants. But it was France which took over and then supplied us with the enriched uranium. Even during the 1998 tests, Western countries imposed sanctions on India. But France never did so. It understood that India is living in a very tough neighborhood and therefore it needs nuclear power as a deterrent to other countries like China and Pakistan. And therefore it did not impose any sanctions. And in fact, the French president at that time said that India should never be boxed in a corner. Similarly, the two countries, they are also participating in the renewable energy. In fact, India and France, they came together in 2015 during the Paris Climate Summit and they formed International Solar Alliance. And this is a very important question for our examination also. In fact, I would like you to tell me that what is the headquarter, which place is the headquarter of International Solar Alliance. The hint is that it is in India. And please write it in the comments if you know. Again, one major aspect between the two countries is the strategic autonomy. Both the countries, they pride themselves on their strategic autonomy. See, India, we have seen when we were discussing the earlier topics also, we have seen during the NATO plus topic which we discussed, we have seen that India takes pride in its strategic autonomy. In fact, India has an independent foreign policy. And similarly, French also have an independent foreign policy. In fact, recently, France said that no countries should be involved in the US-China confrontation and no country should become a vassal state of these two countries. They should leave these two countries alone to fight their own wars. And therefore, both of them understand the level of relationship between each other and they understand that both countries need to be independent in their foreign policies. For example, see, France is having good relations with China also, but India understands that. When India itself is having so great trade relations with China, then how can it stop the other countries from doing same thing? So these are the major aspects or the areas of cooperation between the two countries. Now let us understand what did the recent visit of Prime Minister yielded. The first thing is that it was the anniversary of strategic participation, that is 25 years has passed. In 1998 it was signed and now 25 years have passed. So therefore, Prime Minister Modi, he was the chief guest of Bastille Day parade. It is basically just like we have our Republic Day. The Bastille Day parade is there to celebrate the abolition of monarchy in France. In fact, this is the day when French people, they had stormed the Bastille Palace. And this is the day when the ideas of liberty, equality, fraternity, they came together in the French. And in fact, we have borrowed these ideas in our constitution from the French itself. In the Bastille Day parade, Indian contingent participated and Prime Minister Modi was there. He paid homage to the Indian soldiers who laid down their lives during the world wars. Apart from that, one major outcome is the signing of jet engine deal. See, India has already signed this kind of deal with GE, that is General Electric, and HAL, Hindustan Aeronautical Limited, during Prime Minister Modi's recent visit to US. However, in this deal, the technology transfer will not be 100%. That is, technology transfer will take place, but some critical component will be missing. On the other hand, the French deal, that is the Safran engine, we will be getting 100% technology transfer. Every critical component will be made in India. So therefore, you can see that this deal is very important for us. Then defense deals. As we have just talked about, India is set to receive 3 more Scorpion class submarines which will be manufactured in India in Mumbai by the Mazagaon docks. Similarly, we will be receiving 26 more Dassault Rafale aircrafts. But these will be the naval version, that is the marine version, which will be operated on the aircraft carrier. So these are the major aspects of the recent visit by Prime Minister Modi. If you would like us to take another topic, please let us know in the comments. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.